Hi everybody, it's me, Lady Vivian, and I'm here on the Vale, and I just wanted to make a quick video about my new kelp farm and an interesting thing about kelp farms, because there are so many on the webs, and of course I built avamances and I love it and it's beautiful, and then it just stops giving me kelp and I did not understand why, and so I learned a thing. So here's I put my kelp farm up here above the bees, so it'll be getting rendered in while I'm AFK. Here it is, this nice little seating area where people can, grab a steak or a fish and cook it on the fire and just have a nice little camp out area. I did a lot of phantom fighting up here, so I threw one of the heads. It's very pretty. Mine's not exactly like his, but it's very pretty. And in here is the kelp, and it looks like it's still working okay. It also looks like I'm out of fuel, but see, this should be full, and it's not. And so here's the dealio. Over here on my kelp farm, if it is not making kelp, I have put a barrel, and this barrel has in it kelp, take kelp, and water breathing potions. So come over here to the doorway, which I put in the side. I also put a button in so that if it needs to be shakonked, I can do that. I can just push the button, and it will do it one time. So I did that on both sides, actually. That was a little addition there. So I have water breathing now for 8 minutes. So we go in here and we turn on our debug screen and we look down here at the kelp. The bottom one is the one that matters. You can see that it says over on the very right hand side, targeted block, Minecraft Kelp age 13. This one says age 4. This one says age, this one is not targeted, that one. Here. Where the top one, the bottom one says age 2. That's a good age. Those are good ages. But the trouble is the ones in front of the dispensers tend to be old. And if it's old, 13, like we could replace it with a younger one. It can be anything from 1 to 25. We don't want 20. We don't want 23. We don't want 17. We don't want 22. We want something like 2 or 3. So you just keep redoing it until you get 0. There we go. That's a good age. 16 is not a good age. It only goes up to 25, and once it's 25 years old, or minutes old, or ticks old, or whatever, it won't grow anymore. And so, you can see that this one, now that I just planted, the 0 one is growing already. 11, 8. You want it to be as low as possible. Unfortunately, 8 minutes of water breathing is enough to fix this problem. So really periodically, you have to come in. I'll settle for 9, I guess. I did that one. 23, 22, 4. 13, 5. 2 is good. 6 is okay. 13, I'd like it younger. And if you periodically do this, then it will go for a long time and make, see, 22 on level 1, that's never going to grow. It's going to grow, but it's only going to grow 1. Zero, yes. And you are what? Age 4 is okay. So you make them all pretty young, and then it starts growing again. And then it will start going fast. So if your kelp farm seems like it has stopped working, that's why. Because your kelp is too old. The thing is, now kelp, when the, let's get rid of this, when the when the bottom kelp grows one more on top of it, and the one above it gets cut off, then it has X chances in however many to change its age. So it could actually change its age to be really old once the one on the top is cut off. So any of these that cut off the kelp at the second level, they basically won't work for a long time, because eventually the kelp will decide to change its age to be old, and then it won't grow anymore. They do get one age every time. So like if I laid one down that was 0, its next level would be 1, and its next level would be 2. But once it gets cut off, the 0 one could change itself to 18 or 20. And so, then that will make it not grow enough, and it will break. So you want to kind of just occasionally grab yourself a water breathing potion and run through there with some new kelp, or any kelp, and just put it in. And I think the reason that this doesn't really come up in a lot of videos is because most people are building their, they're building their farm to be spawn proof in survival, but they're not building it in survival. In creative, your kelp's probably all 0 when you put it down, so it works really great for them, and then it doesn't work when people go to do it later. So this is a good little point that I was not aware of. I asked for help in Avamance's Discord because I'm a Patreon member of his, and then one of his fabulous mods, Dead Machine, put me on to the idea of Kelp Age, and so then I learned a thing. So I thought, if I learned a thing, I would share a thing with you. So that's my information about my beautiful kelp farm and how to make it work better. And I will see you on the Vale. Bye!